to hit 900 degrees.
Measure or cut once. Yeah, measure twice. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Okay, so when Clarky took the engine out, the first thing I saw was this converter, and I go, holy crap, that thing is hot. I immediately send a picture over to Marty Chance at Chance Converters, and he immediately calls me back and says, there is a problem. That is not supposed to be that way. We need to figure out what's going on with your car. So you can see this is actually a very dark blue / purplish black. Marty says that in order to turn that converter that color, it needs to hit 900 degrees. Oil temp, 900 degrees. Because it used to look exactly like this. As a matter of fact, I had pictures of this when we had a little bit of issue. So we're trying to figure out what our oiling issue is, if there's some kind of problem, because the other thing that it did was that, and I didn't talk about this much, in fact I didn't talk about it at all, but on that very first pass on day one, when it went 666 lifting, it had 22% converter slippage. When we went 683 at Great Lakes Dragway, the day we hurt the piston, probably the piston was already hurt because of the spark plug started getting hurt, and because it was breathing. After we made that pass, because on that pass the car immediately went to 8,700 and just sat there riding on my rev limiter, which is actually 8,800-ish or so is where it tickles the rev limiter. But it went to look at the curve, car launches, and the car went 683, launches, and it hit 8,700 and just went all the way across. We had charge pressure was correct, transmission is fine, everything looks great in the transmission. Even the oil doesn't smell burnt, which is really weird. The LAT Pro Max oil hitting 900 degrees, it's hot enough to turn that, didn't burn the fluid, which is really. So anyways, I knew that I had a converter problem. Something was slipping, something was wrong. There's no material in the pan and the transmission, nothing's going on there. So we're going to be putting in, and we'll show you this later, going to be putting in, some Fuel Tech makes a EGT, so 2200 degree temperature read in a K-type thermocouple that's going to go on the outlet side of the trans cooler. So directly out of the transmission, measures what that fluid temperature is right out of the converter right there. So we're going to be testing that stuff when we put it up on the two-step, make a pull on the hub dyno probably, testing this on track, because I really need to do a much better job of keeping track of this stuff, because something changed to where the last time, if you guys watch all these videos, you can go back and you see me talking about the video, or the converter we took out of the car last year, and how it was kind of straw colored. This one, we get back, change over, and it's black. So there's something going on. We're gonna figure this out. I really appreciate Marty Chance helping to find out the problem, sending me something to test with, check out, make sure that it's right, in case there is a problem with this. So I really appreciate that. I'll show you what we're doing with all of that, and then how we're gonna test it. So some really good tech for you. That is 900 degree oil. I don't even know how it's even possible. Why it does not flash and just blow up. I don't even have a clue. But in order to turn that stainless steel into that color, that is what it takes to do it. And I know the thing is slipping like a banshee, because like I said, it just went, the last day it just went right up on the right up on the rev limiter and just stayed there the whole pass. Then we're also probably going to show you that Rossler gave me a oil passage that's in the easy stage passage. So you take the easy stage valve down, and I would increase that hole size on the behind the easy stage. Don't quote me on this direct. But anyways, long story short, when the easy stage is off, it will supply more oil to the converter. What Carl tells me is the problem with doing that, he says, we can probably get away with it in this car, but he says like the no prep guys, or even the pro mod guys or limited pro mod stuff, like a PDRA, when you put a lot of charge pressure, when you put a lot of charge volume in the converter, that it gets really aggressive and tends to knock the tire off. So they try to slip the converter even more and more and more. So they make this passage smaller for lightweight, big tire cars on no prep. I am the absolute opposite of that. I am a big fat heavy car on prep. So we're thinking maybe that is something too, that we're gonna put some more pressure, or not pressure, put some more volume into the converter, which is not directly related to charge pressure, is actually volume. So you can figure all that out. So anyways, we'll show you what we got going on.
Up and down, up and down. So when you're bumping the engine, what's that doing?
Bumping the flex plate over so you can get to the next bolt. So you can't do all of them at the same time. One at a time.
Done. Spark plugs. What? Spark plugs? If you don't like fixing your junk, don't be racing.
I'm gonna have to put it on video. All right, so this is, we have the new transmission, or the new, same transmission, new converter. You can tell it's new because it's shiny and silver. So what Rossler wants me to do is we're taking off this is the first experience with a transmission I ever have. That's about it. So I think we're supposed to take this off. You got that 9/16? So we're supposed to take, looks like I need a 3/16. So we need to take the easy stage off. Oh, he said that would twist. He was right. Well, why is that twisting? I think I need two.
You need 2 wrenches.
2 wrenches, yeah. apparently there's some passage that's underneath this easy stage. So when the easy stage is not enabled, so what an easy stage does is this little solenoid must open up a passage here that dumps a bunch of fluid. And so when it dumps that fluid, it is like basically doesn't send as much oil to the converter, and then makes it flash higher, so it stages the car, so it comes up on boost easier, RPM. So this somehow, some way, there's a passage in here when this is closed and not operating, it sends all the fluid to the converter, and I can open up that passage and send more fluid to the converter. Given what Carl said is the weight of my car and how much horsepower we make, that we probably could use more fluid, but the problem being is that it also makes them harder to get down the track. So we are going to take this off and just increase the size, like by maybe 10 thousandths at most on this passage that I've never seen and don't know what it looks like. So we're going to get this thing off, and you'll be looking at it first time just like I'm looking at it first time, because I don't have a freaking clue. I build engines, not transmissions, so I have no clue what's going on. 3/16, sorry. Okay, so that's off. That's there. Okay. There's a bunch of shiny stuff down here. I'll give it credit for that. And for having heating up the oil hot enough in that 900 degree range to turn the last converter blue-black, the oil is still in remarkably good shape. It doesn't smell burnt. And there's nothing in the pan, like I said. This stuff looks like brand new down here, so although I am getting my hands oily, and believe it or not, I hate that. Oh, a little oil right there. Oh, look at that. What the heck? See, I get all sidetracked. Clean this stuff. Okay, so where you said that there is a, I suppose I can. It said it was a 16th pipe plug. You think it's that?
Yeah, that's what it is.
That plug?
Yeah.
There's nothing up there.
I don't see anything up there, yeah. So it must be this pass. No, it's, let's see, so this goes like that, so it goes over those holes, so it must be, so it's that passage right there. Here, we'll take this clip off. There we go. I don't think it's this. I think it's in the valve body. What do you think it's that? Oh no, that looks like a,
It's a pipe plug.
it looks like a pipe plug.
1/8 pipe plug.
Oh yeah, that's got a little restrictor jet in it. Alright, so this has got to be it. So it must run. Oh, okay, so that would be the dump. So that's where so it opens up the passage. Must open up the passage and let it dump from here out. It's got a little O-ring around it. And there's definitely a hole in there. Why would that? I understand how much. It doesn't look like fluid would continue to go through there. Oh, unless it goes this way. Alright. We have to call Carl and ask him, because I don't understand. Okay. Alright, I'll go figure out what size it is. For sure, I'll go pin it out right now. Okay, cool. Thanks, bye. Okay, so you heard that. So there's two passages. So this is a secondary passage that's adding more fluid, I guess. And so it must come from the valve body here, through here, and it either dumps out or goes through the line and adds pressure or adds volume to there. So we increase the size there, and of course, if we increase the size there, it would actually dump more off. No, I guess it'd be the same. Never mind. I don't know. We'll go pin this out and we'll see what size it is. So these are pin gauges. So they're precision ground round. So you measure exactly how big the hole is. All right. So he said they're like I think he said he thought it was 128. Tis not. Let's go. It's way bigger than that. 20. Let's put a 119. So these things are in 1,000th increments. 119 goes in it. 120 does not. So it's got to be 119 or so. Okay, so it's 119 thousandths. We'll just call it 120 for rounded off sake. I don't really want to take that thing out of there. I don't think I should drill it and put the chips in it, so I guess I will have to take it out of there. Alright, let's go over here. Alright, so I'll take this plug out, which is just a restrictor plug. And he said, oh, go ahead and take the whole thing out of there if you want. I do not want to change this at the track, so I don't want to make such a significant change that I gotta pull it apart at the track. That would really suck, especially considering once you make a hole big, you can't make it small again. So I'd rather probably sneak up on it the other way. It's like cutting, measure twice, cut once, or cut once. Yeah, measure twice. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Don't screw it up, huh? See the little hole right there? There you go. Okay. So that's a secondary feed hole. So we make that bigger. We will. Well, this is 16th pipe. I'm thinking how I'm gonna hold this thing too. So, all right, we're gonna drill this thing out. We'll see what size drills I got. We'll drill this out. We'll put this thing back together. But I think I'm gonna go. Yeah, it measures 120 this way too. I think I got a 130 something drill, so we're gonna go do that. All right, so I made a little fixture plate for it and just drilled and tapped a whole 16th pipe, and so I could drill that out and clean it up without putting chips in here. So, and I went ahead and made it 140. I had a 135 drill, but so screw it, we'll just make it 140. Okay, Carl said don't tighten it up, you're too tight because you will never get it out. So I'm not tightening it up too tight. Alright, so we're going to go put this back on. So the whole point of this is to get more fluid through the converter to make sure that we have enough fluid in the converter to cool the converter and work properly. They did not send us irritated because it paid for next day air, didn't get here next day, so they didn't send us the high temperature sensor that we're putting in line. I'll show you where we're putting it, but we're not putting it in there, which means we're going to start this up and we're not going to be able to test it today. We're going to have to wait till tomorrow, because I'm really concerned about and trying to figure out and make sure that we're not like on the two-step or on the brake, which would have to be the hottest spot right there, not making 900, 600 degree oil temperature, or even, I don't know what the max would be. But anyways, we're going to put this all back together. I'll show you right now where we're going to put the sensor, even though I don't have the sensor. And then we'll be starting this up. And then we'll have to do some more testing tomorrow and see if we can get this all figured out. Alrighty, so this is transmission. These are external cooler lines, so that's for cooler pump, so this doesn't do anything, disregard that. This is charge pressure, so I measure the charge pressure. This line, the bottom line right here, is oil that comes out of the converter, comes out of the passage, goes to the oil cooler, or would just loop back around and go back in the up, which is, this just goes back into, basically goes back into the transmission and into the pan. So you measure the charge pressure here, so that is what pressure it has. You could measure it on the bottom or upper, it really doesn't matter. But we're gonna measure the temperature of the oil coming out right here on this dash 6 fitting. So we're gonna put this little special fitting in there with a female dash 6, male dash 6 there, and the sensor, which is supposed to go right there, and it'll read up to 2200 degree temperature fluid, and it'll just stick in there and won't disrupt or won't it won't block any flow. So we're gonna put that all in there as soon as my sensor comes, hopefully tomorrow. But I just wanted to show you how that all works. So we're gonna start measuring the temperature very accurately on the two-step and down the track. Not measuring what the temperature is of the transmission, don't care. Not measuring the temperature of the oil in the pan, don't care. Measuring the temperature of the oil leaving the torque converter. So that would be as close as possible to measuring the actual temperature of the torque converter. So anyways, we'll be putting this in tomorrow. So we're going to get this thing, we're going to put the transmission back together on the bottom down there, fill it up with fluid, with trans oil, and we're all ready to start up and go. So hopefully we get this thing started and get back to other work. So as we're putting this together, I thought I would make mention of, it is not broke. We're changing it. We're trying to figure out stuff. Because if you'd like to show me the other 3,700 pound Pro Mod car that I could get a bunch of information off of, I'd like to see it. Because there is none that I know of. So we're just kind of we're just figuring out stuff, and this is the way you do things. You try things, you figure it out, and you say, hey, look at that, this is doing this, and we need to change that. And then we do. So that's exactly what we're doing right now, is we're trying stuff. Also, I'm bailing out on the current round of spark plugs that I have and going a different route because I'm getting tired of that thing too. So spark plugs, that. Otherwise, the engine looked like a $1,000,000. It really sucked because there's really nothing wrong with it. Oh, so this is one of those little things of something is wrong here can affect there. I'm pointing at the engine. So, like on Cletus's deal, pull the pan off it, everything looks like $1,000,000 again, except the rear thrust bearing. If you watch the videos, you would have seen me actually at Cletus's shop set the thrust bearing clearance up at it, and I even show you what the number is. But at the track, we figured out that all of a sudden it had changed significantly. Well, I didn't set it up that way. It got pushed that way. So this whole assembly right here does affect the engine. So when Garrett sends that thing back to me, we'll go over that, and I'll do a whole teardown on it. And I think we're just going to change that thrust bearing assembly around again. But he's going to have to fix his. He's going to have to fix the transmission issue because there's no reason why it does that. It didn't do it on this one. Doesn't do it on any of the other ones. Tom Bailey's, mine, Clark's, anybody else's. But I know what the general problem is there. But anyways, little things make big issues or big problems on cars of this level. Alright, now we'll hook up this line. We're going to put the trans pan back on and fill up the fluid and start it up. Ta-da! One transmission something. live. She's running. We're gonna set transmission fluid and get everything around ready, and nothing really to do to it until I get that sensor in here tomorrow. So it's running, it's live. Special thanks to Clark. We're gonna do a origin of Clark story. I'm gonna call it Hold My Mountain Dew and Watch This. That's what I'm gonna call it. Stay tuned for that.